Imagine a librarian named Elara, ready to wander into something magical and strange. Elara stands outside her quaint library as the day fades, the shelves inside silent now, the last book slid into place. The air carries that familiar scent of old paper and polished wood, a comfort she's known for years. The sky deepens, twilight settling over the world like a soft blanket, and she locks the door, the key clicking gently. Her scarf flutters in the evening breeze as she heads down the hill to the train station, her steps slow, her mind unwinding from the day. The platform's empty when she arrives, just a lone bench waiting. She sits, her bag beside her, and soon the train rumbles in, its golden lights spilling across the platform like a warm invitation. She steps aboard, finding her favorite spot by the window, the seat worn smooth by travelers before her. From her bag, she pulls a thermos of chamomile tea, unscrewing the cap to release a curl of steam that warms her hands. The train jolts gently, then rolls into the countryside, and she sips her tea, watching fields fade into shadows, streams glint like silver, trees stretch into the dusk. The wheels hum against the tracks, a low, steady sound that seeps into her, and her eyelids begin to droop. She leans her head against the cool glass, her breath slowing, her thoughts softening. She's not quite falling asleep, not yet, but slipping somewhere else, a place waiting just beyond the window. When she opens her eyes, the train's gone, and she's standing on a path of soft, springy grass, her shoes sinking into earth that feels alive. Around her stretches a vast, rolling vale, hills rising and falling under a sky of lavender and gold. Above those hills float lanterns, hundreds of them, glowing like fireflies in the twilight. The golden light spills across the grass, turning the vale into a dreamscape, both strange and familiar. The air's sweet with honeysuckle and damp soil, and a faint breeze brushes her face, carrying whispers she can't quite catch. Elara turns slowly, her scarf swaying, taking in the sight. The lanterns bob and drift, their light pulsing as if breathing. The whispers weave through the air, soft murmurs, a snatch of laughter, a tune that tugs at a memory. This isn't her train, isn't her everyday world, but it doesn't feel wrong. It's like a story she stepped into, one she didn't know she needed. She takes a step, then another, the ground cradling her feet, and follows the path as it curves around a hill. Waiting there is a figure cloaked in moss green, the edges fraying into threads that catch the lantern light. Silver hair spills from their hood, shimmering like moonlight, and when they turn, their face is kind, eyes deep and calm, like a night sky full of stars. A welcome ripples through the stillness in their low, melodic voice. "I'm Lyrian, keeper of the Whispering Vale," they introduce, and Elara feels a warmth spread through her, the day's weariness melting away. "The Whispering Vale," she echoes, the words settling softly. A question forms. What is this place? Lyrian's smile is small and knowing. A haven for dreams, they explain, their voice a gentle hush. These lanterns hold the dreams people leave behind, the ones that slip away with the dawn. Lyrian watches over them, keeps them glowing so they can rest here in peace. They gesture upward and the lanterns drift higher, their light washing over the hills. But one is lost, they add, the tone dipping softer still. A small lantern, its glow faint and flickering. Its dreamer can't sleep deeply without it. Restless and waiting. Elara gazes at the lanterns, their golden hues blending into the twilight, and a quiet ache stirs in her, as if she can feel that restless dreamer out there. Why me? She asks, her voice barely a whisper. Lyrian tilts their head, studying her. You carry stories, they observe, their words warm and certain. They sense it, the way she listens, the way she holds them close. She's a keeper too, isn't she? A gentle invitation follows. Will she help find it? She nods, the choice coming as naturally as breathing. There's something about this place, about Lyrian's voice, that makes her feel she's meant to be here, if only for a little while. Where do we begin? She asks. The whispers were their guide, and Lyrian decided to follow them, motioning down the path. They start walking, their cloak brushing the grass, and Elara follows, her steps light and free. The ground seems to lift her, easing away any weight she's been carrying. The lanterns float above, some dipping low enough that she can see their delicate shapes. Thin glass etched with patterns, glowing like tiny suns. The hills roll gently around them, their curves softening into a fine mist that shimmers in the light. The air grows cooler, a faint dampness kissing her skin, and she tugs her scarf closer, not because she's cold, but because it feels right. The whispers grow clearer, weaving through the breeze, soft giggles, murmured words, a tune you might recognize from a dream. They're comforting, like voices of friends you haven't met, and they wash over her like a lullaby. Lyrian walks beside her, a steady presence, their silence warm and easy. The voile shifts, they note after a while, breaking the quiet with a gentle hum. It changes with the dreams it holds, sometimes a forest, sometimes a sea of stars. Tonight, it's hills and lanterns, perfect for wandering, don't you think? Elara smiles, a sleepy little curve of her lips. It feels like a story, she says, one I could sink into. The idea is to sink in and find something waiting. Lyrian's voice carries on, soft and inviting. The path dips into a hollow between two hills, where a cluster of lanterns hovers, their light pooling on the grass like spilled honey. Elara slows, her legs feeling heavy, not from tiredness, but from a deep, contented calm. She stops, resting her hand against the slope of a hill, the grass cool and velvety, and sinks down to sit, her back against the earth. Lyrian pauses too, standing nearby, their cloak blending into the shadows. A gentle suggestion floats from Lyrian. Look up. She does, and the lanterns glow above her, a constellation of golden orbs against the lavender sky. They drift in lazy circles, their light brushing her face, her hands, the folds of her scarf. She breathes in, the honeysuckle mixing with the earthiness of the grass, and lets her breath out, slow and long. The whispers swirl around her, a tender chorus cradling her thoughts. She sits there, time slipping away, the moment as soft as the end of a good tale. Lyrian's voice drifts to her, distant and kind. The vial will hold her, they assure, inviting her to rest here a while. Elara nods, or maybe she just thinks it. Her eyelids flutter, warm and heavy, and she lets them close. The lanterns glow behind her lids, their light seeping into her mind like a lullaby. The whispers fade to a hush. The breeze kisses her cheek, and she feels herself drifting, not away, but deeper into the vale's gentle arms. The hill cradles her, the grass a cushion beneath, and she sinks into its stillness, her breathing slow and soft, her thoughts melting into the golden glow. She stirs from her rest, the velvety grass still soft beneath her, the hill cradling her like an old friend. The lanterns hover overhead, their golden light washing over the hollow, and the whispers linger in the air, soft and fleeting, like a song you can't quite place. She blinks, her eyes adjusting to the twilight, and finds Lyrian standing nearby, their moss-green cloak blending into the shadows. A gentle nudge ripples through their presence. It's time to move on. She rises, brushing her hands against her scarf, feeling lighter than she did on that train, as if the veil has lifted something from her. The path stretches out from the hollow, winding deeper into the veil, and Lyrian leads the way, their steps steady and unhurried. Elara follows, the grass giving way to patches of moss and tiny glowing flowers that pulse faintly in the twilight. The hills begin to thin, parting to reveal a grove ahead, trees unlike any she's known, their bark traced with silver veins that shimmer in the lantern light. The branches arch high, weaving a canopy that glows softly, as if lit from within. They step into the grove and the air shifts again, warmer, heavier, humming with a quiet energy that tingles against her skin. The lanterns cluster here, hovering among the trees, their light dappling the ground in patterns that dance and sway. The whispers change too, turning to soft laughter and sighs, as if the grove holds memories of joy and rest. Elara tilts her head, listening, and the sounds weave around her, pulling her deeper into this place. The trees lean in slightly, their silver veins pulsing faintly, and she brushes her fingers against one, its bark smooth and warm, like a living thing, breathing beneath her touch. Lyrian moves forward, their cloak brushing the mossy ground, and Elara keeps pace, her steps light and easy. The grove stretches wide, the trees growing denser, their glow brightening as they go. A faint trail catches her eye, shimmering dust, golden and fine, sprinkled across the moss like a breadcrumb path. Lyrian notices it too, and the trail becomes their guide, winding through the grove in gentle curves. The hum grows louder, a steady pulse that matches her heartbeat, and she feels it in her chest, a rhythm that soothes her deeper still. The trail splits ahead, 3 paths branching through the trees, each shimmering faintly in the lantern light. Lyrian pauses, their silver hair glinting, and the choice hovers between them. The lost lantern could be down any of these, they muse, their voice a low hum that blends with the grove's energy. Elara steps closer, her scarf brushing her chin, and feels a quiet pull toward the middle path. A tug she can't explain, but trusts all the same. Lyrian senses it too, and they follow her instinct. turning down the middle way together. The grove thickens around them, the trees pressing closer, their silver veins glowing brighter. The lanterns drift low, their light filtering through the branches in soft, shifting waves. The moss deepens underfoot, springy and cool, and the air grows still, heavy with the scent of earth and something sweet, like honey or ripe fruit. Elara breathes it in, her thoughts softening, and the path narrows, the trees arching overhead to form a tunnel of light and shadow. The hum is stronger now, a melody that wraps around her, and the whispers fade into a gentle hush, as if holding their breath. The tunnel opens suddenly, and they step into a hidden hollow, a sunken glade cradled by the grove, its edges ringed with glowing trees. In the center lies a pool, small and still, fed by a trickling spring that spills from a mossy rock. The water catches the lantern light, shimmering like a mirror, and in its heart floats a single lantern, smaller than the others, its glow flickering like a candle on the edge of fading. Lyrian slows, their cloaks swaying, and a quiet certainty settles over them. This is it, they affirm, their voice a tender murmur, the lost lantern, waiting for someone to claim it. Elara steps forward, her shoes sinking into the moss, and kneels by the pool's edge. The lantern bobs gently, its light casting ripples across the water, and she gazes at it, feeling a pang of recognition. It's faint, like a memory she can't quite grasp. Reading under a tree as a child, the world quiet around her. Sunlight dappling the pages. She reaches out, her fingers hovering above the water, and the glow steadies slightly, as if it knows her. Lyrian settles beside her, their silver hair brushing the moss, and the world connects all dreamers. They observe, even across time, across lives. The spring trickles softly, its sound blending with the grove's hum, and Elara lets her hand rest on the moss, cool and damp beneath her palm. The lantern's light washes over her, warm and tender, and she feels it in her chest, a quiet echo of that childhood moment. Or perhaps something deeper, something shared. Lyrian's presence is steady, and they weave a quiet tale. The lantern wandered because its dreamer forgot how to rest, lost in a world too loud, too fast. Now it's here, waiting to be found, to bring peace back to that distant heart. Elara leans back, her scarf pooling in her lap, and the hollow cradles her, its mossy floor soft as a bed. The lanterns above the pool drift in slow circles, their light spilling through the trees, and the air hums with a gentle rhythm that matches her breathing. She closes her eyes just for a moment, and the glow seeps behind her lids, a golden haze that wraps her tight. The spring's trickle is a lullaby, the moss a cushion, and the grove's energy flows through her, easing her into a stillness she hadn't known she craved. Lyrian shifts beside her, their cloak rustling faintly, and the veil will keep it safe now, they assure. The lantern's found its place, its glow steadying with every breath she takes. Elara sinks deeper into the moss, her body heavy with calm, her thoughts drifting like ripples on the pool. The trees lean in, their silver veins pulsing softly, and the whispers return, a faint, comforting chorus that weaves through the hum. She could stay here, she feels. Or maybe she doesn't feel it, just knows it in the quiet of her mind. The lantern bobs on the pool surface, its glow steady now, stronger than before, as if her presence has anchored it. Lyrian rises, their cloak rustling softly, and the time to return it has come. They affirm. Their voice a low hum that blends with the grove's song. This lantern belongs to its dreamer, and it must rise to join the others, to bring rest to that distant heart. Elara nods, or perhaps she just feels the agreement settle in her, and she lifts the lantern gently from the water. It's light in her hands, warm against her palms, and its glow spills over her scarf, painting it gold. The path calls them back, and Lyrian leads the way, stepping out of the hollow and into the grove once more. Elara follows, the lantern cradled close, and the trees part around them, their silver veins dimming as they pass. The moss gives way to grass. The hum softens behind them, and the lanterns above drift higher, lighting their way through the grove's winding trails. The air grows cooler, carrying the faint scent of honeysuckle from the meadows beyond, and the whispers follow, faint now, a tender farewell from the trees. The grove opens to the misty meadows, the wildflowers nodding under the lantern light, and the river glints in the distance, its silver surface catching the glow. Elara walks beside Lyrian, her steps slow and sure, and the golden dust trail from before lies scattered still, shimmering faintly along the bank. The river song rises as they near, a gentle melody that weaves through the mist, and she pauses for a moment, listening. The ducks glide downstream, their feathers flashing gold, and the water ripples in time with her breath. A quiet goodbye from the Vale's heart. Lyrian turns away from the river, the path stretching upward now, and the hills rise before them, rolling gently under the lavender sky. The lanterns cluster ahead, their light pooling at the crest of a single hill. The Vale's heart, where all dreams rise. Elara feels it too, a pull that guides her steps, and they climb together, the grass soft and springy beneath her feet. The breeze strengthens as they ascend, tugging at her scarf, and the air grows lighter, fresher, carrying the whispers higher still. They reach the hilltop, a wide open crest bathed in golden light, and the lanterns hover thickly here, drifting in slow, graceful circles. Elara stops, her breath catching at the sight, hundreds of glowing orbs, a constellation of dreams stretching across the twilight. Lyrian stands beside her, their cloaks swaying, and the lantern belongs here, they affirm. Their voice a tender murmur. It's time to let it go, to send it back to its dreamer. Elara lifts her hands, the lantern warm against her skin, and the breeze takes it, lifting it gently from her grasp, carrying it upward. The small lantern rises, its glow blending with the others, a single spark joining a sea of light. It drifts higher, steady and sure, and Elara watches, her scarf fluttering in the wind. A quiet thanks settles over Lyrian, their silver hair catching the glow. They're grateful, they note, for her help, for the peace she's brought to that restless dreamer, whoever they may be. The veil sighs around them, the whispers fading into the breeze, And she feels it too. A softness, a completion, like the last page of a story turning. The hilltop grows still, the lanterns glowing above, and the veil begins to shift, its edges softening, the twilight deepening. Elara blinks and the golden light blurs, the hill beneath her fading into something familiar. The train's rumble seeps back into her senses, a low hum beneath her feet, and the cool glass of the window presses against her cheek. She opens her eyes, slow and heavy, and finds herself back in her seat. The countryside rolling by outside, dark now, dotted with distant lights. Her thermos sits in her lap, the tea still warm, as if no time has passed at all. The veil lingers in her though, a quiet echo in her bones, a golden glow behind her lids. She smiles faintly, her lips curving in a sleepy arc, and leans her head against the window again. The train rocks gently, its rhythm steady and sure, and she wonders if she'll return, if the lanterns will call her back someday. But for now, the thought drifts away, soft as mist, and she's content to let it go. The world outside darkens, the fields and streams swallowed by night, and the train hums on, carrying her home. Her scarf rests around her shoulders, the faintest hint of honeysuckle clinging to it. Or perhaps she imagines it, a gift from the veil. Her breathing slows, her chest rising and falling with the rhythm of the wheels, and the golden glow fades into the edges of her mind, tender and warm. The whispers echo faintly, a final lullaby from that distant place, and she sinks into it, her thoughts melting into the quiet. The seat cradles her, the window cools her cheek, and the train's hum wraps her tight, a gentle anchor pulling her back to her world. She drifts, not away but deeper, into a stillness that feels like home. The veil's memory lingers, soft and sure, and she lets it carry her, her breath a sigh, her body heavy with calm. The countryside blurs beyond the glass. The night stretches wide and she sinks into its embrace. The golden light, a promise she'll hold until morning. And there, in that quiet train, she rests, wrapped in the tender calm of her journey, dreaming gently as the veil fades into the night.